Welcome back to EconoChat. Let's talk business with Mr. Daniel Steinmann. We are talking about the new government, the new administration, 100 days in office. Ministry of Health has been doing a lot. I can personally also say that the Ministry or the Health Minister has been in, the media quite a lot compared to other ministers. So she has been doing a lot, and I'm talking about Minister Luvindao. But also when we shifted to education, as our Minister Sanet Steenkamp, I have not seen her. Maybe you can tell me. As a media person, I have not seen her being very visible in regards to,
She certainly wasn't that visible in the past 100 days.
Yes.
But as the executive director,
very much visible.
Was very visible.
Very active.
Yeah. So I think her history portends something positive for
also,
the future. But I'll tell you a lie if I say I heard and read a lot about her recently. But I've heard some good things about what's happening in education, especially if you. That thing that always bug us, the economic side. How do you translate those figures in a budget speech to a building somewhere in a rural town, not a big school, but one that can accommodate 150 learners? How do you translate that planning to something that works? Remember, you and I, we've talked about this often. If you build a school somewhere in the Ombasin constituency, now the people there are distributed, the residents where they live. It covers an area of about 200 by about 150 kilometers, but the population only merits one school, one primary school, not even a high school.
Yeah.
Where do you build it? This is the whole practical thing about Namibia and the Namibian economy and the Namibian population. And this is just one constituency. I mean, there are dozens of them across the country.
Yeah.
But where in Embassy are you going to build a school? Because for a primary learner, having to walk 5 kilometers to school is too far.
Way too far.
Yeah, this is walking 1 kilometer is basically what you can expect at most from children that are 6, 7, 8, 9 years old. And you may think 1 kilometer is not that far. Go walk 1 kilometer in the morning.
No, it's far for me.
Yeah, and then try and focus on your schoolwork.
Yeah.
and
sometimes even them being hungry, going to school with an empty stomach.
This is the whole thing, you see. So it is not just about building a classroom. It is establishing a point of education that functions almost like a small town.
Yeah.
You have to give accommodation to the teachers. There have to be some form of transport. You have to accommodate the children. They have to stay in a hostel. They can't come in every day. The distances are simply too big.
Yes.
The moment you put children in a hostel, it means that you have to feed them.
Exactly.
And when they go to school, they have to take a lunch in their lunchbox. Otherwise, you lose a lot of the educational effort. When it's with girls, it's a very sensitive topic, but once a month they've got special needs, and you have to make provision for that. Otherwise, they simply stay out of school.
Yes.
Do you see the complexity of the dynamic of education in Namibia?
Yeah.
And we tend to make that mistake. We look at the fancy private schools in Windhoek and Swakopmund, and we think, that's it. There's a nice school for everybody. Who can afford how many families can afford $5,000, $6,000, $10,000, $12,000 in a month to put their child in a private school? You see, so private schools are not the solution. They're the solution for a very small minority of the population who has enough money.
Yeah.
But they're not the solution for general education of the general population across the entire country. And the moment you start looking at accomplishments by the government in this regard, before you become too critical, you need to be aware of the complexity of it. You know, there's a very specific dynamic, and if you don't know how it works in Namibia, you're wasting your time. You know, and I was asking the question, how do you translate those figures? They're very big, they're very impressive. Couple of million here, a couple of million there. I mean, education is not without reason the biggest budget allocation.
Yeah.
It comes to billions. Now, the big thing is, I would like to get grassroots opinion on the perception how, in this first 100 days, how effective that the planning side is executed so that the planning actually leads to education. And how do you test that? Very easy. If your children pass the exam. If they don't, like so many schools, for so many years in Namibia, you know there's a problem.
Yeah.
So it's not something that you can sort of talk away. They either pass or they don't.
They don't.
So I don't have the golden answers on education. I can only tell you it's huge, it's big, and it's complex. And you need to understand that if you want to form policy or implement policy that is meaningful, that makes a difference.
If you would like to have your opinion or even your voice heard, you can, of course, also just send us a WhatsApp to the number 085 3363749. The number is 085 3363749. You can also send us a voice note. Give us your opinion on what you think. What has the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Education, how has infrastructure changed within the 100 days of office for our new government? But also tell us what is happening in your villages, what is happening in the rural areas that you grow up in. Tell us, is there changes happening, or do you see changes that will be happening in the next few years of our new administration? But for now, let's quickly go for a short break.